There's an overwhelming sentiment in the Congress to get tougher with Iran. But what's the basis of it? Well, we're being told we shouldn't have any contact with them. We're being told that we shouldn't be negotiating with them. We're being told we should get ready for war. All of that is wrong. What we need to do is to have direct negotiations. We need to be talking with Iran. And we need to stop this vainglorious notion that somehow we can settle our differences with Iran through war. The American people are not prepared for this country to get into another war. If Mr. Netanyahu wants to pay for a war, that's up to him. I would advise against it because I think Israel's security would actually be undermined by an attack on Iran. But the United States should not, cannot, and must not be dragged into a war by any other country which calls itself our friends. We have to think differently. We have to believe that peace is possible. What we have is a type of thinking coming out of Washington that says war is inevitable. When you say war is inevitable, you actually create of war a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you get war. We wonder, why do we have war? Because people think in terms of war. We have to stop thinking in terms of war. The mindset which exists here in Washington is generally one of brinksmanship, going right to the edge, pushing things. The problem with that is there's always room for miscalculation, especially when part of that prevailing mentality says you can't even have contact with the other side. I mean, imagine for a moment, at the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, if Nikita Khrushchev and John F. Kennedy were not speaking to each other. It was the fact that they communicated that caused the crisis eventually to be resolved. And there are other voices. There are the voices of arms merchants, of war contractors, of people who just make money off of war. They don't care where the war is or who it hurts. They just want to make money, and if they can push the U.S. into spawning another war, they'll do it. Just because you intervene doesn't mean you're going to get the results that you want. Actually, there's almost an ironclad rule that intervention will get the opposite results that you want.